Welcome to the Man in the Middle. I am your host, Bill West. Joining me today is my co-host Rocket. I don't know if you'll see him. If you hear a nice bass rumble in the background, that's him. He's sitting on my desk, purring away while I make the movie. So, yeah, we're just going to make the best make the best of it. Say hi, Rocket. Today we're talking about a little movie you might have heard of that came out last week called Elvis. Wow. I saw the movie yesterday, and I have to say I was pleasantly surprised. I'm not much into biopics. I skipped Rocket Man. I did go see uh, the one about Freddie Mercury. Uh, I can't remember the name of it right now, but that was I really like that one. And when I heard they were doing one on Elvis, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go see this because I grew up with Elvis. Elvis was always played in the house, and really, I, he was the defining artist of my generation. You know, we had the Stones, we had uh, the Who, uh, but really, Elvis Presley was, was I think the defining artist of my generation. And I was looking forward to this movie, and did not disappoint. I'll be right back. Elvis was really a good movie. It starts off when he's about 10 years old, and actually a little earlier than that, we find out that his father is arrested for cashing a bad check, and his mom and his Elvis and his mom have to move to at the time what they considered the bad side of town, which happened to be the black side of town. He was the only white kid in the black neighborhood, and he grew up with the black kids, the black uh, experience. Uh, I, I don't know if I should be saying African American, but uh, we get to see an inclusivity that's forced today when he's growing up. We get to see one of his first musical memories where he's at a bar. He's watching a guitar player at a bar, and some dancing going on, and there happens to be a pastor having a revival, and he's drawn to it, and he almost has a religious epiphany there. He's touched by the spirit almost, and you can begin to see where his musical journey begins. And then years we catch up with him years later at one of his first concerts, and it's interesting. He was sort of I don't want to say goth back then, but he had the eyeliner and the makeup, uh, almost I can't remember what they called it, but at the time it was the 50s style, but today they call it something else. Uh, we see one of his first concerts, and he's on stage, and he's really blowing it badly. He can't get his rhythm, and someone calls him out on it, and all of a sudden, right there, right then, you get to see where the superstar uh, begins. He starts his Elvis the pelvis routine, and just all the women in the audience freak out. And Colonel Parker's there, and of course, this is the beginning of their relationship. Which uh, Elvis almost is more about Colonel Parker than Elvis. Elvis is almost uh, a sidekick in his own movie. It seems to be more about Colonel Parker's story than it is about Elvis. Although we get to see the highlights of Elvis's movie. Tom Hanks as Colonel Parker was interesting. Uh, there's a there's a mystery behind him, which from what I can dug up, he was a very mysterious man. There was a a bunch of different stories about who he was, where he came from, uh, what he was before he came to America. You know, uh, my wife and I were even wondering if he was a Nazi at one point, but we did some searching and found out that that wasn't true. Uh, I can't remember the actor's name who played Elvis. Really good actor, really good in the role. He made me believe. Uh, the music was great. I'm glad they didn't whitewash uh, the the roots of rock and roll, how it was black gospel, black jazz, rhythm and blues, uh, how they, BB King was there. I think Little Richard was there. I can't remember the name of the lady who was singing, but I've always uh, liked Little Richard, BB King, Chuck Berry. You know, and I'm glad that they didn't. It wasn't just it was all Elvis. Elvis did was no, there was something before Elvis, something that influenced him, and it happened to be the black gospel, the black rhythm and blues music of the time. Uh, the movie is very much a product of it. Shows Elvis as being very much a product of his time and doesn't shy away of the racism of the day. Elvis was, they were going to arrest him on, race, hanging out with black people, you know, uh, of lewd and lascivious conduct because of his of the way he moved on stage and partying with all kinds of people, black, Mexican or Hispanic. Uh, you just didn't do it, and they show one of the concerts they intercut Elvis with. I don't know if a governor of down south who's got the Confederate flag behind him, saying how you know we have to maintain the purity of our race. And once again, I'm glad they didn't shy away from that. We got to see Elvis in the period where he was and how he was shaped by his time. Uh, we got Unfortunately, they didn't really cover JFK shooting. They did cover Martin Luther King shooting, Bobby Kennedy shooting, and how it affected him. Like in the '63 comeback special, where he sang the protest song after the death of Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy. Uh, we got to see a very truncated engagement with Priscilla. One moment he meets her, and the next moment, they're married, and then Lisa Marie comes along. I the only person I remember is Tom Hanks in this, so you'll forgive me if I don't talk about the stars or the actors, name the actors or actresses. Uh, and then we get to see how where he's staying at the International, and how it drains him, and how it pretty much saps the life out of him. And then we get to '77, when unfortunately he passed away. I remember '77 as the year of Star Wars, and uh, I don't remember much of Elvis passing away. My memories of '77 are all Star Wars related, but I do remember up to '77 I remember his music. Yeah. If you grew up in that, if you're my age, if you grew up with Elvis in the house, if you saw him in concert, if you saw him uh, on TV, in the movies. You really want to see this movie because it's really good. And whoever did this movie, I think, had a love for Star Trek because they start off the movie with the Hilton or the high. I think it's the Hilton with the Star Trek experience and the big old Enterprise on top before it becomes the International. Or it was the International first, but in the flashbacks they show the Hilton with the Enterprise. And there's a sequence in NBC Studios where they have posters of Kirk and Spock and Uhura, and I can't remember. I think there's another one in the studio. So I think somebody there was a big Star Trek fan because they made an effort to show these. It wasn't something that that just happened to be there. I mean, they took a moment to linger on the Enterprise. They took a moment to linger on these pictures in the NBC studios. It wasn't just whoop, and oh, there it is. No, it was like there's Kirk and Spock. I can't remember the middle picture. There's Uhura, and they lingered on it. I don't know how it's doing in the box office. I'm hearing it's getting really good reviews, and thumbs up. All right. Excuse me. The cat you hear in the background is not Rocket. That is my cat Cup. I don't know what she's looking for, but she's in my closet. All right. My name's Bill. I am the man in the middle. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, and join the channel if you haven't already. Every couple days I talk about something cool, and today's Elvis. Tomorrow, who knows what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. My next video today will be talking about the Vulgariad. I meant to talk about it last week, but we're finally getting around to it. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.